Hey, it's Mark with DynamiteStocks.com and StockPursuit.com. I'm back with another video. Today was kind of like what I expected if we didn't sell off a lot. The Nasdaq just kind of hung in there. But like I was saying, the overnight sessions are the key now. So it sold off in the overnight pretty good and then just kind of rallied. So it could very easily just pull back up into this range here. I wouldn't be surprised if it actually gaps up a little bit and just goes green tomorrow. But we'll see, because the momentum is pretty dead now. So at least on the Qs, like everything else is pretty strong. There's a lot of strength in a lot of stocks, especially these short squeezes, like stocks with a high short interest. I've been watching Rite Aid, RAD. This one I talked about yesterday, that I put it on watch for a short squeeze. And I didn't look at the percentage short. It's like 20. It's over 20%, maybe higher, maybe a little lower. Because there's not a guaranteed way to know what the short interest is. I think Ortex might be the best one. That one seems pretty trustworthy, but it doesn't really matter, if it's 5 or 10% more. If it's over 20%, I consider like 20-30% to be really high short interest, enough to trigger a squeeze. And the thing about squeezes is, you'll hear people say squeeze, this is a squeeze, Apple's a squeeze, like, to be an actual squeeze, it has to have a high short interest, and it has to have the dynamic of shorts covering, and it just has to be that volume. A squeeze isn't synonymous with buying, just straight out buying. So to be a short squeeze, it's kind of a confluence of factors, with the shorts covering. So there's got to be enough shorts that are covering, and it's typically pretty explosive, as you know. But I kind of talk to everybody like they're sort of like an intermediate trader, or more than experienced. Maybe down the line I'll do some sort of basics on stock trading and maybe even fundamentals, because my background's actually more so in the fundamentals. I have a lot of background in both technicals and fundamentals, but for a long time I ran what was one of the top deep value blogs back when blogging came out. I was in college, and or when blogging was popular. I was in 2005, 2006. I started my original blog, and it was just it was called Investment Quest on a blogger blog, and I was in the entrepreneur club, and this guy was like, you need to do SEO. And well, anyway, long story short, I got the StockPursuit.com domain, and I just started blogging about value investing. And I was pretty much just a value investor back then. I didn't see any. And I didn't know of any evidence that trading was working, like, because not a lot of people talk about it, or you don't meet many traders out there in the real world. So I just the literature was all on fundamentals and value investing and Buffett and long-term investing, which is actually, it's not superior or inferior to trading, but it's just there are differences. But I was pretty much a value investor, and I used to blog about the deep value stocks that I would find. And I kind of found a niche with that, because I kind of like doing the research. I still like doing the research, and I still blog about them on my Substack. But back then in 2005, 2006, I started sort of developing it and getting a following, hedge fund managers, and I did some joint work with this other website, College Analysts, and he put my articles on his site, and it got picked up by we got picked up by Jim Altucher. He's a guy. He's like a pretty famous hedge fund manager. He's on CNBC and stuff, and he used to read College Analysts, and a lot of my work was on there. I think he might have posted one of my articles on in his work, but I was pretty much all over the social media back then. TheStreet.com picked up an article. Those are some of the bigger names that used to read Stock Pursuit. And then when I got into financial services, I was a financial advisor basically. Like I had securities licenses, and FINRA is pretty strict, and basically I had to shut the blog down, so I shut it down for a long time, and then it's sort of kind of building it back up, over the past few years. So I think, well, I'm just going to keep doing the value stocks and all that stuff because I do like the research, but it's nice now that I have it on a separate site, because I used to incorporate the trading into the value investing site, and the people that read the value investing are totally different than the technical people. So, well, I actually used to incorporate technicals in the nets and these deep value stocks, and I think I was the only one doing that, or maybe somebody else does it now. Like I did a Google search, and there's like a couple, maybe one or two other people doing that are still kept up with the deep value stocks. But basically, like, if you don't know about those, the academic research is pretty good for those going back. Warren Buffett was basically trained in that style of investing, with Ben Graham. Berkshire Hathaway was, when Buffett bought Berkshire Hathaway, it was a deep value play for him. It wasn't a growth, like Phil Fisher type investment. So, basically the track record's good, and it's just good. They're good small caps, because like I found a lot of times, like when I found PRTS, which is car parts now, I found it at net tangible asset value, and it was in a turnaround. Like the management was in a turnaround, and it went on to become a growth stock. If you find the right ones, in a good sector, or with a brand moat, or they just have good management with a turnaround, there's a lot of potential in those. So, but the idea is to keep a diversified portfolio. But most of you probably aren't familiar with, or more interested in the trading here, but I could do videos on that too, and just put them on Stock Pursuit or my Substack, because I do have I'm self-taught on a lot of investing approaches and styles, what have you. So back to these stocks that are in play here. I've seen so many earnings beats. Like, I don't think I've looked at a lot of these earnings, and usually they're surpassed expectations or been in line. Most I've seen more beats than misses, or haven't. Maybe there's just a couple of misses out of like dozens I've looked at, but it's pretty impressive. And I've seen a lot of stocks that are what I would consider, high beta bull market cyclical stocks, like that you don't see them run in a weak market or a weakening market. So So even though I'm kind of bearish on the major indices right now, like the Qs and SPY, I think there's still, it's basically where you can just buy almost any stock that has a short interest or good technicals, and it goes up. So there's definitely a lot of money going to work in certain areas. So the RAD, yeah, still going. Like, I want to see it go up a couple more days. I mean, ideally it gets like a really big day, like 50% or something, and then we can flip to short biased. Because right now it's still there's no indication of it being a short at the moment. I'm not really interested in it as a long, or as just a short if it actually does go up another 30-50% or so. Whether that takes a day or two, we'll see. Or it may just die out here, but there's less of a setup short unless it's up that much, in my opinion. TUP, I'm still short this one. I'm long puts, and it looks like it actually came back down. It didn't act the way I wanted to ideally, but it's still downtrending, so it just closed lower. So so far so good. And this is what they used, like I was talking about supernovas, how they tend to fake out a lot, or they have in the past. So that's kind of what the setup would do. Like Nerve was one of those, and there's another big one I can't think of at the moment, but they're not always reliable. I mean, they're more reliable with a struggling company or like a garbage company, kind of like BBIG was. The AAOI, I talked about this one yesterday. It's still set up as a short. If it goes below this when it goes below this line, like I said, it's a short, and it just broke below it, so that's a short setup still on red. If it goes red on the day tomorrow, if it goes down, but it didn't really make it, kind of faked out there, like kind of tried to break out. So we gotta see what it does tomorrow. But it's a short on 649. If it goes below 650s. What else we got? Yeah, SSTK. That one's kind of like the TSVT. Like, it just took out a bunch of. Yeah, that's the. I believe that is the image. That's the image company. Yeah, they have a bunch of old-fashioned photos, and that's an AI disruptor. I mean, AI is going to disrupt them, like because if you're a company, you don't have to pay models now. You can do like Stable Diffusion or Midjourney and get exactly lifelike images. And I think I've already seen those. I saw an ad on Twitter, and it looked, I'm pretty sure it was AI, totally AI. I mean, just from a cost standpoint, like it's kind of be like, I guess it'll be like a dead industry maybe, but wish I had found this one a day before, because look at that sell volume. There's a lot of sell volume too. It looks like they just had earnings. I found this one in my 52-week low scan, my gap down scan, I think it was. So yeah, it's down after earnings. It's not good. So I think this one's gonna have more lows. I mean, for sure over the long term. I think it had puts. It's probably why I put it on my watch list, because I only trade the puts now. So that one, that's a good short. if it is what I think it is, let me just double check what their business model is real quick. Just typing that in. Yep, internet content provides quality content and creative workflow solutions, blah, blah. It offers image services consisting of photographs, vectors, and illustrations. Oh yeah, they're gonna have some trouble. Wow. There's another public company that does that too. I can't think of the name right now. Basically, when you do a Google image search, these companies pop up, with the images, and they have like a watermark, on the images. I'll try to find that other company because there's another company that does the same thing. They basically have IP on like photographs, which is crazy. Like now, like I was saying, the Stable Diffusion, like these Mid-Journey images, like you can kind of tell, like I can tell that they're fake. I mean, they're AI, but these Stable Diffusion, I mean, I've seen a lot of them and I still can't tell. Like I can't tell that they're fake or not. Like it's 50-50, I mean, a lot of them I'm convinced they're real. When I look at them, they're that good now. The videos are another story. Like videos are easy to tell they're fake, but well, they've got some guidance. The Shutterstock has they're forecasted to grow, but the earnings estimates have come down a little bit. But if you look at the stock, I think it's telling the story here that what the analysts are aware of. It looks like they beat, but they must have given bad guidance. Like the only thing that matters with earnings is the guidance and the reaction to the earnings. The stock reaction is all that matters. Yeah, they beat earnings by 3 cents. A surprise at 3%. Let's see what they got for guidance. I mean, I guess they missed on revenue. Let's see. There's just a lot of probably AI content here. Like AI has been writing these articles on the internet for a long time. Yeah, look, they put Airbnb in this article. How is that the same industry? It's gotta be AI. Weird, because there's another public company that that does the images, like Shutterstock. I don't know. I think it's just a technical trade here. If it breaks down again, but I mean the fundamentals are gonna be hard on it long term. It's not good. So what else was I looking at today? The Brazil. I may have gotten a really good entry on this one. Well, so far I have. I bought puts a couple days ago. I bought puts on Tuesday, and it took out some support, and it's testing long-term trend support right now. So we'll see what it does the next couple days. Like I found out that Brazil has kept their interest rates pretty high. Like they're at 13%. And they just lowered like 50 basis points, but they kept their rates up at 13%. And I think I saw inflation at like 3%. I think they were just. I heard that they were overly cautious because of the history of inflation. So that's a good one to watch. And China, I don't know. I'm not really. China is tricky. Like if you look at a lot of the stocks, like Baba and JD, they're doing pretty well. Like they don't look particularly bearish. Like it's still kind of got an uptrend here. But when it failed to hold these levels, I shorted it, or I bought puts. But I'm not super crazy on the short bias until some more technicals come in. Because I was expecting it to just keep going lower today, so it kind of surprised me. So luckily it's just a small position, but I don't really do big positions now for the risk management. But yeah, so we got the AOI. Yo, this one's doing the weird stuff, like I was talking about how supernovas are unpredictable like they have been. See how it broke down, then it went up, and then it might do this for days, and it's pretty unpredictable right now. That's just a coin flip. TSVT, still in puts in that one, and it's down $3 a share since I first talked about it as a short bias. It's down every day. It looks like the shorts are just putting a bear raid on it. It looks like we did the same thing here back in December last year. It went down like 1, 2, 3, 4, like 20 days straight. What was it? 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, like 18 or 20 days it went down straight. So there's no support. So this one may turn into one of those really good staircases down, where it just goes down every day and keeps going down. I've seen a lot of those over the years, or the past couple of years. When the shorts get control, it just goes down every day. There are no bear flags. There's no strength at all. Like, whereas opposed to like a stock that's going up, long, it has pullbacks. It has these natural little pullbacks where it comes down. But with these shorts, sometimes they just go down every day, and it's really nice if you're short. UGRN, this one, it still looks bull flaggy to me, and I found some. I was looking at the Middle East and Israel and the UAE. After Caterpillar's earnings call, they said that the Middle East was really strong. So I found some ETFs in that region. Let me go look. Let me look and pull that up real quick, because this one, the URGN, is actually an Israeli-based company, and the Israeli drug companies are just really good. So I don't want to short this thing. I actually want to get long because it's a major holding in the ETF. So let's see what we got. Yeah, ticker IZRL. IZRL. See, in the long term, it's got a nice base. Like I've been highlighting on my Twitter and on these videos. These are the ones that you want to be focused on, where they haven't gone up a lot yet. and this one's just been basing out. It's got some technicals formed to look like a bottom 4 times basically, and it's in an uptrend. So I think this one has a chance to outperform over, the rest of the year. So that's a good one for sort of like an investment, really. The other one I was looking at today was the IHT, because I did a post, or I covered in my Twitter, these hotel stocks have been really good, and the data apparently is a lot of people are on vacations, people are taking vacations. So this one's it's been bottoming out. It's got some good technicals going for it, like a slight uptrend here. Looks like that is our trend support. And this is a really small company, but it's a hotel. So this one has a good shot. It just needs some volume and some range to come in. But the setup, if it's a buy here, if you buy it here, the setup is to take a loss at like 190, but I'd rather wait to see some volume and some real action come into it, some flow. AMSC, this one's still going down. This is just a textbook supernova crash. It's just still coming down. I talked about that one the past couple of days too. Let's go to another watch list. The MITK, this one I talked about. I know it from the past. It's had some good runs in the past, and it's a growing company, small cap. We'll have to see what it does here. It could easily pull back. It just had a good run, but this line here is key. That level needs to hold that. Run, I was thinking, I almost bought this one, but I just wanted to see it hold that line, hold that new support, possible support, and it kind of sold off here. So I'm just still watching that to see that. I want to see that the technicals are really good in it first. And that's pretty much it as far as the stuff I was looking at today. There's some other AI stocks like BFRG. Well, it looks like that one's not going to work out right now. It's another one, Sound. Yeah, that one doesn't look good either. I'm just going over the watch list here to make sure I got everything that I wanted to cover. But the data I saw, I think it was Charlie Bella, the guy who posts a lot of data. He posted that people on vacation. More people on vacation than since like many years ago, and like 63% of people on vacation in any given day. It's kind of crazy stuff, but But that's why these cruise line stocks are going up, and the hotels are going up, and entertainment. I imagine Vegas is doing good too. Like that's a big vacation place. So some of the stocks are MGM. Well, bad earnings on that one, or bad guidance. Yeah, it's pretty like you got to be choosy with certain sectors. So like the cruise lines did good, but these looks like these casinos aren't doing so good. So what else? This one was green today. Oh yeah, RGTI. Let's do that. It looks like a bull flag. I mean, you look at the volume. The way I judge it is by the volume too. Like, if the sell volume the last couple of days was over 20 million, I'd be more thinking it was a sell, like a true top. But this looks like a really good bull flag. We can kind of speculate where the flag will be. The trend support might be here. That's the sort of worst case trend support. Best case is it just hasn't won, or it just starts going up tomorrow, or has one more day. Because it looks like a high flag. But we'll see. Like I think this one has good fundies over the long term. And there's still a lot of tech driving things. Like there's more of these LLMs coming out. Like I tweeted about Alibaba is releasing or has released their LLM, and it's smaller and just better trained than the GPT-4 and others. That's just what I hear. I mean, I haven't used it, but I think the competition is going to bring out the best in these models, and we're going to see specialized ones in healthcare and finance, sales. Pretty much almost every industry is going to benefit, because it's basically like cataloging all the information on the industry and then making it closer and reach. And I think there's a potential for a lot of breakthroughs in science too. And I think that may be why we're seeing a lot more. I mean, I've been seeing a lot of drug news, but I don't know if it's actually sped up. But in theory, if you can scrape a database like PubMed, or like you can scrape these scholarly articles in medical journals, you can get faster retrieval of information, and then you can brainstorm faster if you have everything in an LLM and you scrape data. So the drug companies, I think, are going to have there's going to be a lot of good drugs coming out. I mean, there may even be, for all I know, it could have been how a lot of these weight loss drugs came out too. Well, we know for a fact, the COVID, the mRNA vaccines were a product of algorithmic technology. So, and that was even before everybody knew about it, or before GPT-4. So I think I was put on my fundamental investor hat. I think, over the next 5 or 10 years, the sectors that will outperform will be obviously technology and pharmaceuticals, biotech, industrial applications, like robotics and inventory, like ticker ROK, like these warehouse robots. Just these simple robots that can do simple tasks. Not necessarily like they're not going to be doing open heart surgery anytime soon, but they can do they can lift some boxes and stuff, and those are going to be good. But of course, that's just more of a productivity cost savings. I think the industries that'll experience the most growth from it will be it'll be the advent of new industries from it, like potentially more advanced robotics and autonomous cars. And I mean, what if there's more companies that do the same thing Tesla does? That would be really good, for competition and prices, because like the prices eventually will come down. Like if you look at all these new technologies, the prices were high, in the beginning. It's just economies of scale brings prices down. So I mean, maybe they can actually build a security robot that can kind of patrol your house, and have the kind of vision that like a Tesla has, or these LiDAR sensors like CPTN. That's one of my favorite ones now. The CPTN, they make the sensors for these autonomous cars. And I don't see why they couldn't be used for robots too, and maybe even something else. So I mean, I'm sure the military is using them too, but I think that's going to be another super growth industry. Where a whole other industry spawns out of these faster computers and just better technology. And if the quantum computers work out with it seems like that one company, the RGTI, they already have it on the cloud, so I don't see why the potential is bad there. Like there could be a lot of potential with these quantum computers for data processing. Like the way they work, they're just so far superior to an old-fashioned computer like we use now. But we'll see how it all plays out. But I think those are the main industries that will benefit. Just off the top of my head, like the application in science, I think will be good. I mean, hopefully too. Like that's what you'd want to see, and you want to see a lot of. I mean, there'll be a lot of consumer products too. But we'll see how that plays out. But those are pretty much that's like the gist of what I'm looking at now. And I've got some other stocks on watch list, but those are the ones I want to touch on tonight in this. I guess you call it fairly short video. Maybe I'll do longer ones on sort of like beginner stuff, like I was saying, like introduction stuff on either technicals or fundamentals. But I'll just wrap it up there, and hope you have a great day.